Hey, this is Rocco, and welcome to our first video of the video course, FAERY Magic. So we'll start with FAERY Magic, and we'll do Angel Magic in a few years. Unless some of you want to take a private course with me, then I'll explain to you what Angel Magic is, and then you'll do it on your own. Incidentally, I want to give you the latest that Doreen Virtue has a course on angelology in order to become. I'm a fairyologist, not an angelologist yet. And you can become an angelologist, meaning you know the folklore and the lore of the angels of Jehovah. And for those of you wishing to become exorcists, I putting you up for Bob Larson's International School of Exorcism. I think it lasts like a BA. I think it's 3 years. But even studying there for 1 year, I think it's gonna be enough for you to be on the right track spiritually in terms of having the right tools, biblically especially, not so much spiritually maybe, but biblically for sure, to what they say, send a spirit out of a certain situation. So let me get something. I'm not using any of Doreen's material today because she does not put forth any fairy rituals. So I'm not sure if she does them in this sense, but this is in Italian. It's called Rituali Incantesimi della Magia delle Fate. It's by a certain guy called Pierluca Pierini R. Dot. So it's rituals and enchantments of the magic of fairy magic. So the word enchantment is in itself quite, besides being quite magical, is quite interesting. This is personification, if you will, of the triple goddess. So it's 2 moons, and there's a sun beneath, meaning sort of like a Christianized version of the triple goddess, a sort of a type of inverted blasphemy, if you will, so that they put Jesus at core. Other parts of the book have these 2 little, they look like little devils, but it's actually, they could be gnomes or elves, dragons, or all around. Rabbis, 40 talismans, and more than 100 pictures and old documents and rare paintings. So a little rainbow as a sign of the unicorns that are leading you inside an enchanted land, enchanted place. Rebis, R-E-B-I-S, for those of you who speak Italian. This is the back of the book. Is the most esoteric, what they call it, casa editrice, publishing house in Italy, and it's based in Viareggio, Italy, which is in Tuscany. And they are numbered copies. This is copy number, I don't know, I'm not sure if you can see it, 107. Hope you could. So it's limited number of copies. You see, there's almost 200 pages. Secret to resolve a quarrel, and they have magical formulas. This is a secret to grant, say, longevity. What's that? Where the butterfly is. Segreto per favorire la longevità. In the day in which there is a new moon, go on an empty stomach to 3 different water sources, Drink 3 sips of water at each fount, each source, repeating each time the following phrase. Vilas me fari is, I'm saying it for you. So, again, Vilas me fari isperise tirte fasel mirasa mil chemes. This is the language of the fairies. Fairies have their own language. When you make a pact with the devil, you are automatically given the language of the gods, because Satan speaks his own language. This is secret to the Satanist. And also in heaven, angels have their own way of speaking too. So when Mary talks to Jesus in private, she speaks in the language of heaven, which is something the angels know how to interpret. I mean, the fallen angels know how to interpret, but they don't speak anymore. So after this phrase, si continua successivamente il digiuno per almeno 4 ore. L'operazione dovrebbe essere ripetuta una volta al mese, ogni giorno di luna nuova, almeno una volta all'anno. So it means you subsequently repeat, you continue fasting for at least 4 hours. This magical operation should be repeated at least once a month on the day of the new moon, or at least once a year. So this gives you longevity. Other spirits, like the Olympic spirit Och, O-C-H, sounds a bit like a nature spirit too, but it's an Olympic spirit. People lived up to 500 years. This is the magical formula. If you want to pause the video, perhaps you didn't get my Italian. Hope you can see it right. Well, if not, you're not sorted for this. Italiana Kupa would say. So, as if you sorted, this is the talismans. So I know that they look a lot like, if any of you is familiar with voodoo, look a lot like voodoo. Make me think of Papa Legba and other entities like that. This is because the gods are either fallen angels or fallen fairies. This is the enchantment of the De la Fata de la Rosa, of the red rose fairy, or rose fairy, but I'm guessing it's red. Alright. So it's really interesting, and they've got, again, interesting pictures, color. It's all really beautiful to see. What this is one of my favorites. It's really royal, and it gives you the idea. I was a king in a past life. It gives you the idea of it gives you an idea of what it means to be with kingship. So fairies are really, there's fairy, like, again, Doreen Virtue says, there's also fairy queens and kings. See, a talisman escaped me because I use these. So I just might have happened. This is a number 32. I cut off one of the other ones to use for ritual for my clients. So I have different copies of each book to make sure that I perhaps use one for one kind, one for the other. Theory of the Flowers, Theory of Mysteries to learn magic, Theory of the Mirror, Falling Star for protection, Theory of the Home. And there's different types of enchantments. Theory of the Sea, look at this. Inside some type of grotto thing. Fairy, one of my favorites, Fairy of the Woods, Fata del Bosco. Kind of like Snow White. So it's it could be intricate, but it's interesting. So the invocation here is in Italian. I have a degree in translation studies, but I'm not, which is an MA, but I'm not going through the whole thing. So to those of you who speak Italian, or just want to hear it, A voi o fate dell'impero dei cieli di cristallo del nord. Your rituals should start off as a general invocation if you want. So fairies of the empire of this crystal skies is beautiful of the north. O you fairies of the golden towers, golden lands of the east, fiery kingdoms of the south, enchanted oceans of the west. This is really powerful. And so on and so forth. Signore degli spiriti di boschi e radure, di valle e monti, prati e fiumi, rocce e deserti, and so on and so forth. You dawn dew or sunrise dew that regenerates life, and then there's fairies that are here, listen to my plea, and then the prodigy, maybe something like that. For the infinite power of Aisas, Mirasa, Sira Virana, Elakimarna, Misas, Amisas, Amisas. And we're inviting the fairies in. Another way to call in fairies, like Melanie Beckler points out, but that's angels, but same thing, is to call on the fairies, saying, fairies, please come. And it's not just, they don't come just because I am a witch, but they come to everyone who calls upon them. If you call upon them with respect, say, if you call upon Jesus and say something offensive like, hey bottom boy, come here, then possibly he's not going to show up. Same thing, there's ways to be respectful to Lilith and ways to be respectful to Mary, ways to be respectful to God, to the fairies, things that offend and respect and elevate, if you will, a spirit, in terms of they make him or her feel there's no it in the spirit world, or make them feel better. So in nature you have dragons, you have sylphs, fairies, gnomes, elves. Elves are very they are of the earth element, but they're very high in their energy, so they're almost mixing their energy with air. This is the energy. I'm initiated to all kinds of magic, really, almost. So but how to call upon a spirit? Say today you want to call upon the white side of nature, so let's call upon Jesus, who is allegedly the Son of God. So for those of you who believe he is, so you call upon Jesus. Please, Jesus, come here, you say, and then you be quiet and notice the shift of the energy. For those of you wondering, usually I do these things for an hour and a half each class, not with a video all the time though, and not so practical maybe, and that still is going on. It's €30 for an hour and a half, and it goes much more in depth than this, because here we're just doing spell casting, and then magic is something different. But I thought that although it's true that magic is secret and we should keep silence, one of the rules of magic, another one is to dare. It's best to have faith. So as the Bible says, ask and you will receive. So you call upon Jesus and Jesus comes. You don't have to be anyone special, and Jesus comes to anyone who calls upon him. If not, these spirits would show up, all the angels and angelic beings, which includes Jesus, who's divine, would show up only if you actually are made for priesthood. But that's not the case, because Mary chose people to channel her voice through the what they call the Veggenti di Fatima, di Medjugorje. So these clairvoyant women from Croatia and whatnot, who Portugal, Fatima, who really envision everything that they can to help you. So Jesus' energy is as such, if you want. to feel what his what his energy is. That's the angelic side of nature, which is of the fairies. Thank you. So now Jesus leaves us. He appeared, if I were Solomon, I'd say, appear in pleasant shape and form, but he's not a demon. So that's a little bit of what the fairies of light associate themselves to. There's no fairies of dark, literally, but there's or dark fairies, but there's gods and goddesses who were fairies. We're not calling upon any voodoo spirits today, but just know that there are, like Oshun and so on. And today also we decide to just to feel his energy, to call upon Lucifer, who is the dark side of the moon, like Pink Floyd. So if we call upon Lucifer and associate this act by calling upon Wotan and the gods of the Norse regions, etc., Loki and all these beings that are nature and used to be fairies, perhaps. In Rome we have Mars, Jupiter, all these gods, Mercury, that were famous in Greece too. And do you feel the devil's energy? Now he's making his best to make you feel alright with what you're doing. Okay, thank you, Lucifer. So now slowly think about these gods that are leaving us today and meditate on this. And always be respectful of the gods that are falling during the Ragnarok, or if you will, the apocalypse. Never disrespect these angels who are falling for the second time, but always love them and show them that you love them now and forever. Even if they have killed, they're gonna be wrong. You don't forgive them because you can't, because God won't. But you won't turn the other cheek either. But you make sure that they realize that you will love them all the time, and you will be waiting for them on heaven when they will be ascending once more. So this is something Diana Koopa never told you, but again, I'm not Diana Koopa. I'm just a different card, maybe. But still Deus Ex Machina. Do you feel the difference between Lucifer, a devil, and Michael, an angel? Point is that with all these people that are trying to get to you with their messages, and they're trying to get you with what they can do, and they're trying to get to you in a way or another, then they get to you in this sense. But although Diana Cooper does or did have talent and power, but now she's sick, so she's losing it. Other people like Radley Valentine are not specifically satanic, nor right now, I'm not sure about his past lives or anything like that. But for sure, he's more on the fairy side than on the pagan god side. And for those of you who believe this to be true, there is great reward, because no matter what you do, eventually you become what you want to become. And there's other people like Robert Reeves. All of these people have a talent, and they have dignity, and they have powers, and they have teaching. Especially have a teaching to share. Lucy Cavendish and her husband, not even sure what his name is, but he's got pretty large belly. So that's all I'm interested in knowing, that that she's the feminine part of the gnomes, which is knowledge, and he's the masculine part of the gnomes, which is having a belly. So that's what they like. That's what they like. So we again, it's really easy to call upon a spirit. All you have to do is to call upon them. So fairies don't have a physical body, whereas the gods do. And again, there's a whole different set of fairies that you can call upon for. This is just like going to a beauty parlor, really. You this is why I'm sitting this way. You are with your menu or whatever, or also it's reminding me of when I went with my boyfriend to Amsterdam to smoke weed. This is something that I do every once in a while today, but I didn't do it for years and I will quit. But it's not what you think. But it's true that how it's been said that usually you keep a sober mind when you're doing magical work, and I prefer the high that an angel gives me. This is 100% accurate over any type of substance. So if you connect to even to a demon, it'll be better than overdosing. So even sell your soul to the devil, or even take it to the furthest extent, even legally, but as much as you don't kill yourself, anything is better than suicide. So, and that we're blaming on Marilyn Manson, everything that has to do with evil, right? It's not even Satan's fault. It's not the devil. It's not their parents. It's absolutely true that it's something else. It's gotta have something to do with the music that they're listening to, honey. It's gotta have something to do with that. So don't we just love as we choose, don't we just love going perusing through our special book. You see, I'm being playful, like it's the energy of, say, Dionysus or Pan. All of these gods, they play hide and seek and they never weak. So it's something that in Rome, when I was this is parts of my past lives, because I'm a great witch. So I was one of the wealthiest families in ancient Rome, and my husband was a pagan, what they call it, wizard. I didn't marry my soulmate in that life, because every time I chose in my past damnation, which is something that I don't choose for myself today, but somehow, but every time I did in the past, I always knew where I was going, and I always rejoiced it. And what could I say? Today over here it's 7:11 in the morning, kind of like that shooting commercials, that 7-Eleven, the pretty shops that you have there in the US where you get your coffee, and it's pretty much that time of the day here, 7:11 a.m. In New York it'll be past 1 a.m. and so subsequently on the West Coast, Hawaii and El Paso and so on. So I hope that as many people as are watching this today, because I can guarantee that every prayer or ritual, if done correctly and if you follow the entity's advice and so on, then it gives you proper benefit. But those people who say the frog that wants to be a prince without kissing the princess is something that magic never did. Another thing is the stereotype that as light workers or spiritual teachers we're not supposed to make money. So I'm just gonna to whoever says that to me, I will publicly cast a curse on all those people that I encounter wherever I may roam. Metallica's song, wherever I may roam. Whoever it is that I find out that contacts me and expects me to give them free things, free rituals, free spells, because on the one hand they believe, on the other they don't. In Italy it's fashionable these days give pecunia, so money, financial compensation, when financial compensation should be given before because I, as a witch, decide if you dignify to be even in my surroundings in terms of same country. Sorry, I have a candle going. Because if not, come si dice in italiano, da attaccar cazzo, meaning you you go and seek someone else's advice. Am I making myself clear? So you go to a doctor, to a butcher shop, to a coffee maker or coffin maker. A little reference to Baron Samedi, who is my voodoo garden. We all have different spirits looking within us, and one thing is to approach them with the right magical power and the right aesthetics. Another thing is not to. So in order to be initiated, you have to be initiated. To initiate yourself to fairy magic, besides sorry, the method that I gave you already. See, I'm all spirited. My hair is all up high. Which I simply copied and pasted of Lucy Cavendish course, which I don't think it gives you a diploma. I did, and she's very skillful in the way she writes, and she's very poetic, and she's like the feminine part of Doreen Virtue. Kind of like if Doreen Virtue had a vagina. No, she does. If Doreen Virtue was a penis, then she's not, then Lucy Cavendish should be the vagina if they were lesbians. It's something like that. She is a Taurus and Doreen is, and then Lucy is a Cancer like me. So they kind of like match. They have different styles in terms of one is more dreamy and the other is more solid. So these two things, as we've seen in Lucy Cavendish marriage, usually work well together. When perhaps with some differences in Doreen's Virtue's marriage, which is the current marriage. I don't think there's anything wrong in like Doreen Virtue did in marrying morally in marrying more than one guy, even at the same time. There's Muslims who that's allowed though in their religion, which is a religion of truth for them, but they take multiple they're called concubines, as many as they wish, and it's up to 4 wives. One, it's going to be obligatory, because if not, you're not with the greatest. And then the second is for you to be greater and greater and greater still in your skill. So, and that goes on with everything that has to do with Islam these days. That's something really to snuff it out, really. And by the way, the people who think that Islamic terrorism has got something to do with Islam, please say it with me. It's the devil. So, fueled up by that enthusiasm, we're not going to blow ourselves up, but we're doing something that is a bit more divine. And a lot of the people who show aggressive tendencies these days, I encourage them to go to the cemetery with a black candle and curse in the name of Satan, because that's the least you can do instead of getting into a fight, which can have sometimes lethal consequences. Like I've read on the news, some guy from Italy, I think, got stabbed in Barcelona, Spain, because of nonsense. And it's not Islam this time. It's not the religion of peace and submission to the Most High. It's just they had a fight. Of course, in these cases, it's helpful to wear magical protection so that you don't end up dying in the process. Because there's people who get beat up by a group of 7, or 6, but they don't die. So, as with Diana Koopa, she's been an extraordinary talent for summoning Archangel Metatron and the celestial choirs of angels. But as for right now, we're focusing on serving the spirits of nature, the fairies that are on the white magic type of deal side, and they help the environment grow. It doesn't have to be over obsessive about giving the fairies milk or all these things, because the mass makes us say all the same things so that we look repetitive and we enchant ourselves over their own bullshit. But yeah, fairies like milk just like your mother likes cum, cum. But you know what, that's not all that made you. So it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm just gonna start to curse systematically, and I'm going, if there's people who are witches above your level of the viewer, it's gonna be the same. Whoever you encounter that, and that could be done with the Holy Spirit or Venus Fairy, Saint Anthony of Padua, Mother Mary, whoever, Krishna, do it with every religion that's out there, please, including the tribal ones, if you will. Whoever meets your eye and doesn't respect magic in a way or another, especially that it doesn't have to contain any homosexual parties, please do it for me and James von Prague. And then, secondly, that we don't have to be paid just because we don't know why. And then, third, that someone is acting out of God's grace. Well, then, so are you, because you're contacting me. So, and what is, just like, do you remember the movie called, I'm just gonna check that scene out. Well, I don't even think I can show it, then no. What do you call it? The Devil's Advocate, when he goes on I was gonna say YouTube, on, because in Britain the tube is subway, so I'm actually still chewing on this staying a Koopa type of deal thing. You go on, and they go on New York City underground, and they Pacino talks to some random Afro-American guy, and he said, or I think it was a Latino, I'm not sure, someone who's not white, and not as white as the devil at least. And then he goes and traces back some some house where he has just traveled to, and then at that point, what you have to do is you have to remember that the devil knows everything and he knows your heart. So the devil, Lucifer, goes up there and he says, you know, what are you doing while your wife is having sex with, are you talking to me while your wife is having sex with the guy next door on your bed while you're talking to your friend? You beep. Are you gay because of that? Are you happy? So it's just about knowing that the Bible was mistranslated. This is official from today in the parts that include homosexuality being a crime for God. This includes the Quran and includes the Torah. Which is not, like the Joy Satan website says, the Torah reversed, but it's nice to think that. And then Buddhism never advocated against homosexuality. I won't guarantee that Buddha liked man, but it's gotta be something near close to that. Although he had a wife, because he resisted women, but I'm not sure that if he resisted 100% the concept of homosexuality at some level. Like it could be the case of Bob Larson or Mindy Mowell or Gabriel Alicanto or, I don't know, Diego Marini or God knows whom. So including Jesus, it could be homosexuality could be something that people try to give you so that you lose your dignity. But if you don't, then they do. So everything that has to do with magic and sexuality was because very powerful. It could be that again. The Bible still is recognized truth for Jehovah, but this doesn't mean that it's got to be all literal. So what the original passage meant, well, you go and ask Jesus personally. So today we are, you have to cast a spell on the day. The day is magically redirected by King Solomon, who didn't believe that it was going to be from midnight to midnight type of deal. But so Monday is not from a minute past midnight until 11:59 p.m. But Monday is from dawn till dawn. So it's today magically here is Tuesday, and then I will put a link below on the magical days so you can figure out when to cast this spell. If you are not in Italy, so if you are in the US, you can definitely do it now. It's important that you at least start it on a Monday. This is considered Monday. If you don't have a candle, or if you didn't have patience to wait, then patience to wait won't be given to you when you need it. So I'm using where is it? This. Showing you where I live. You can show me where you live too. So I'm not half naked. I'm just wearing shorts. And by the way, to you, Tracy HD, showing yourself half naked with your hair down, up, because viewers request you to do something sexy with your hair, and you being a tarot reader and reading Dream Virtues cards, I strongly advise you to delete those comments, because they absolutely are not what Dream Virtue needs to hear today. So you see that as magicians we have the power to see things before they happen, or make things happen, or accept things as they are when they don't work, which is something that God doesn't want. Still wants you to pray. People who believe that contact with God in any way, shape, or form, including prayer and ritual, especially ritual, is to be frowned upon, is mostly people who are insecure. Okay. So witches' room are a little messy sometimes, but they are certainly for you. So if you were wondering, we are casting a spell for you specifically. So I'm just gonna cut this with this foil thing, which it's not bad for your health at all. We're not smoking it. You use it to contain for food that is hot. So if you find a better way, please do it. I know it's not bad for me today. So when we are purifying ourselves magically, this is what you have to do at home. Now I will meditate on this, because there's a way to meditate on rituals too without the need to follow the moon. But you have to do it with your eyes open, because you don't know how to meditate correctly yet. So I will do this for you, and then I'll tell you what I did. So take out your white candle, and you will call upon the moon fairy. So done. The number for Monday, which is the day of the moon, is, we'll talk about these things more in detail in the future. It's usually 7. You can use just one candle, or use numbers and colors that are different as you go on. So once you start, you use fixed days, fixed hours, because you have to learn the basics before you learn the advanced method. Okay. Now, Italy, it's Tuesday, so I will cast a protection for one of you or for the whole audience, I'm not sure. So, the moon fairy is something that you do with this is, you should be able to see it. You see it. If you see a white candle somewhere, that is your candle. Moon fairy, I purified slightly. The viewers who watch you will feel you need one for each person, but you still, some negative thoughts and some negativities will leave you. You say I, and then in my case Rocco, and you add your birthday, which is in my case July 2nd, 1984. So I, Rocco, born on July 2nd, 1984, in the city you were born in. You need to have all these details, and then which is not necessarily where you live, and then so it's either your full name or the person that you're casting for. It doesn't have to be with their consent, really, because people can be influenced by negative entities and people can be stupid, and if you wait for someone who's committing suicide to have their consent to be saved in a way or another, then you're just a dickhead, which is certainly not my dream of being, because then I'd have to wear a condom instead of a kitty. Nope. So so connecting myself to the energy of the elves, I want to call upon, we could use the red candle to call upon the fairy of Mars, like the planet. So you save a red candle for tomorrow. Sorry, it's really dirty in here today, in quotes, but red candle, yeah, that, and then I work, and then this is the room where I work, and then I leave all these things on the floor, and then I clean at the end of it. I usually work nights, but sometimes I could work during the day too. This is not a day job in the long run. For those of you who are called to be spiritual teachers, a lot of people are not. But you can be a student, or you can be just respectful and go to church. At least try to include at least one spiritual practice in your daily life. So this is the fairy of Mars. So we're keeping, you keep your eyes open. I will ask that when I get 1,000 viewers, the person that is number 1,000, you can ask different things to the fairy of Mars, sex, energy, all these things, or protection. So I'm gonna ask to the Mars fairy to give the not the 11th, but the person number 1,000 watching this video. Okay, we'll get, if we get to that number of viewers, it can be all the same. You'll get this candle. It could even be in 50 years, I'm not sure, but you'll get this. It's a free spell, however small, so we're just gonna cast it. So we say I, Rocco, for example, ask you, Mars fairy, or ask you elves, or no matter what it is, still Tuesday, so it's connected to the planet Mars, so which has distinct qualities of its own. You can even Google all this and make a collage, or a reconstruction of your own. And so you see that we're asking the Mars fairy to enter this room and infuse her energy onto the candle and protect this particular viewer of this video. You can protect yourself. And so I'm just talking to the fairy mentally and telling her what I need. So I'm just gonna say thank you and amen, or you can use the Wiccan motive be, or just say thank you. So it is, so be it, amen, don't say things that are unpolite or disrespectful to the spirit, especially if it's demons. They could get really angry, and you can see strange things happening in the house, just like in the movies. Or, guys, it's not always like in the movies, though. Or if it's an angel, they, by chance, could be even stronger than demons, because they are, and it could go even worse, but at least they'll be forgiven at first. But then there's people who take advantage of that too these days. So you see that it's all made really easy. And you cast your spell, and then I'm going to meditate on it for a few minutes. I'm experienced, so I could last meditating for 3-4 days fasting, or I can meditate for 2 minutes. It depends on how much you're going to pay me. These days you pay me as a standard €500, but if you pay me 10,000, then obviously it's going to be more meditated, and it's gonna be larger. This is just a free thing that I'm giving you today, which is not like, I don't know, we're not going inside the Pharaoh's temple and unveiling Isis and having sex with her, but at least we can get to know her and know that she has an ass or that she has tits. So that's what we're doing. So I will meditate, I will pause this, and I will meditate on your spells for a couple of minutes at least, and then be back. Done. Thank you and goodbye. And especially aloha.